I thought I was going to have a perfectly fluid run, go for it, soul frequency forecast 1 week. Okay. And the next thing I know, I'm here playing with the sound. All right. We're not going to play with the sound anymore. We're going to just go. All right. Like I mentioned, it's live. What am I supposed to do? It's way past my bedtime. Again, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? You know? Welcome Instagram. Welcome Facebook. Hey. Welcome YouTube. All right. And if you are going to find this in the replay, if you get here and later on you're like, hey, I want to come back and replay it, you're going to find the replay on YouTube. Everywhere across the board, I'm Asia Stormborn. It's always Asia Stormborn on everything. Okay. Just makes it easier for me to find myself later on in life. And for all intents and purposes, I'm still Dr. Asia, the Soulful Creatrix. I'm still here using sound, vibration, energy work to help my clients to realign after chaos, loss, trauma, craziness, whatever else we have going on here in life. I mean, you name it, we got it going on at this point, right? And I basically help my clients to realign. So that being said, this is, I think, the 4th week that I've done the soul frequency forecast, and that now makes it a trend. It could be the 3rd week. I don't know. Time, not my friend. We're just going to go with it, okay? It could be the 3rd or the 4th week. Time is not my friend. It is still a trend, okay? And that being said, what I do is I take human design, I take tarot, I take a little bit of the I Ching, I got a little bit of astrology, a little bit of dream interpretation. I don't know. I just throw it all in there, okay? But it is designed with the intention that you are working with creativity. So you're a creative. You're working on something. You're putting something together. And who is not a creative at this point? We're all creating something, babes, okay? So you're a creative or you're an empath, much like myself, someone who works with, this highly sensitive being, okay? So maybe you have some empathic journey in your life and you just need some help with that. The energy gets wild and you're like, hey, I don't understand it, or let's say you're just on a spiritual journey. And again, who's not on a spiritual journey? I think we're all just out here trying to find God in something, somewhere, somehow, some way, right? So if any of those things work for you, or you just want to learn more about human design, tarot, astrology, um, energy work, and what it feels like to go through life working with the energy instead of letting the energy work you, then this is your place to be. So I'm going to try and go under an hour. I have a daily forecast. And this week we also have a gate change in human design. So we'll go into that. We have some pretty cool astrology. Again, I'm not an astrologer. I don't even pretend to be an astrologer. Okay. But I do like the energy of astrology. I love being able to see how the archetypes work together, how the energy can be pulled and how we can work with it and manipulate it. Okay. I'm a manipulator. I get it. I like to manipulate the energy just like the next girly. Okay. So, we're going to, roll that up in there too. I also throw in frequency work. I am a sound and energy healer. Okay. So frequency and vibration are very important to me. So I will be talking through frequencies. Okay. Useful frequencies, practical alchemical frequencies that you can use throughout the week with the energy of the week. Okay. So that's what I have for you today. Now, this week coming up, crazy, first of all, that we're in December, okay? Mind blowing, boggled me, okay? My timbers are shivered, it's insane, okay? To think about how fast we got from I don't even know what happened. August, I don't know. Something happened, and the next thing you know, now we're on this, speeding course down to the end of the year, the end of the Gregorian year, right? So here we are, right? We're in December now, okay? And we are in the middle of some Sagittarius energy, very fiery, right? We are in the middle, we just ended that Mercury retrograde energy, right? And now we're getting into what I call this, it's like a wrap up almost, like a what did we learn type of a feeling, right? Like when we had Saturn retrograde, and then Saturn retrograde ended, right? And then we were on a what did we learn from that? Okay. And then we had the Mercury retrograde. So they're like, what did we learn from that? Okay. So this time of year, it's kind of a reflective time of year anyway. Everybody is thinking back. Where did the year go? What did we like? What didn't we like? Who did we want to beat up? Who couldn't we beat up because it was illegal? That kind of stuff. And so we're on the end point, the wrapping up point. Now, not only are we wrapping up the year, but this year was a 9-year, right? So it was a 2025, it was a 9-year, which means it is a completion year. So all of this, like everything coming together, battle hymn of the Republic style, you know, banging and clamoring and trying to clean stuff out, that is all a part of the energy of kicking stuff out, throwing out the dust, throwing out the crap that's no longer serving us, getting rid of the shit that we don't need because we are about to float into a new cycle. Okay. We're ending the 9. Next year is a 1. We're going back in. Okay. Starting again. Starting all over. Okay. So that's just what we have. And here's where we are. Okay. So let's get into it. I have my notes and we're going to I'm going to pull up my notes here. I'm hoping that my notes are going to be nice to me. We're just hoping for a lot today, okay? So, the theme for this week, we've got focused fire because like I mentioned, Sagittarius time, all right? So, focused fire and then sacred rhythms, okay? Now, we are ending out the um the energy from last week. I mentioned this before. When we're in human design, we stay in a gate for about 5 days, 6 days at a time. Okay. And right now I'm maybe even on day 3 of this 5 to 6 day window. Okay. We'll see, where we get to it. Okay. But it's going to go into next week, into December 1st through, 7th. That week, we're wrapping up those gates. So you're going to go back because I'm not going to repeat those gates, okay? Gate 9, gate 16 were discussed in detail in last week's soul frequency forecast, okay? So if you're seeing this on Saturday or on Sunday, maybe even on Monday, and you have, or you have gate 9 or you have gate 16 and they're active in your chart, and you just want to know more about them because I go through an in-depth look at them, then you're going to go back to last week and you're going to definitely want to go in and get to learn and get to know about gates 9 and 16 from there. Okay, that being said, I have one affirmation this week. That's the next change, okay? Trying to be more efficient with this whole forecast thing. I've never done this before, really. This is my first run at it. Okay, so like I mentioned, this is my third or fourth one. I'm taking all of the tidbits, all of the feedback that I get, all of the reflections, and then I'm like, hey, let me make it better. Let's make it better. Who would I be if I'm not trying to make it better? If I'm not trying to make myself better while I'm over here trying to make, everybody else make themselves better. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. So we have one weekly affirmation for the whole week. I'm not going to repeat a mantra or an affirmation every day this time. And that affirmation is I move with rhythm. 1 second. I messed that up. And that affirmation, like I said, is I move with the rhythm of life, balancing patience with change, devotion with curiosity. Each day, I step boldly into my creative, empathic, and spiritual unfolding. That's it. That's the affirmation for the week. Okay. So if you needed an affirmation for this upcoming week, and you run out of ideas, I got you. Okay. Go with that one. I like to say an affirmation sometimes while I'm in the shower, or I write it while I'm journaling so that way it can become like a part of my mind, of my thinking. Okay. I move with the stream of life. Has been a part of a long string of affirmations that I say personally for myself for a long time. I'm water, I'm fluid, and I move with the stream of life. These are all different forms of the same affirmation for me. So I move with the rhythm of life because right now we are in a rhythmic, repetitive um, week where we're going to be working through like that repetition. Remember, we're talking focus, repetition, so devotion. So I move with the rhythm of life, balancing patience with change, devotion with curiosity. Each day I step boldly into my creative, empathic, and spiritual unfolding. Ashe. That's it. That's what we're going with. And that being said, for this week, we go through moonwise. I'm gonna bring up my notes here and turn this off real quick. So this week we move from the moon moves from. Let me. I have to make sure I got it right. I lost my whole spot right there. All right. So this week the moon goes from Aries to Taurus. Okay, and if you know anything about that area of the zodiac wheel, it's the beginning of the zodiac wheel. Okay, Aries being the first sign of the zodiac. It's like the leader, so the breaking through, coming in. Okay, so we're moving um, from Aries into Taurus, and then into Gemini, and then into Cancer. Okay, so this week, and the moon goes, through each of these signs very quickly because it has to make a 28-day um, cycle, and it has to go through 12 um, signs. Okay, so if you think about it, you're breaking that up, it's about a sign every other day. Okay, so this week it's in that section of the the area of the zodiac where we're talking about beginnings, about fire, about beauty, in Taurus, about communication and about family and community with Gemini, and then about our emotions with Cancer. Okay, and that moon energy is going to be our intuitive guide. Okay, I use the moon's energy as our intuition focus. Okay, so wherever the moon is for that day, that's kind of what's guiding how our intuition is working, especially if you are an empath, or especially if you're, a creative. Okay, so that's basically how I do it. We have some interesting astrology. Now, I mentioned again, I'm not an astrologer. Okay, so if you want to get like a lot more information about like in depth, like what happens with a Sagittarius stellium, what does that look like with Venus and Mars and the Sun? Go find some great astrologers. I follow several great astrologers who I learn from every single time I watch anything that they put out. Okay, Avi's awesome. Sabrina, is great. I say go find them. They will get you straight. Okay, um, but for all intents and purposes, all right, we have a Sagittarius stellium, which just means we have a lot of Sagittarius energy with some real personal planets as opposed to the ones that are way far out. Okay, we've got this Venus Pluto work that's happening. It's called a sextile. Sounds awesome. As a Scorpio, I'm like, I'm all about anything that sounds sexy, and sextile sounds sexy. Um, I don't think that that's what it's about, but okay, Venus and Pluto have this exchange energetically, and so that brings some cool stuff. We have a full moon in Gemini, okay, and that brings spice. It definitely brings excitement. Okay, anybody who knows Gemini energy would definitely have to agree with me there. It's going to bring something unexpected. I like that word, unexpected. Maybe not exciting. Maybe you're getting to see the twin in the mirror that you did not realize existed because you're going through this work with us, and then you're like, that was unexpected. I did not expect that. I can offer you that as what you'll see. Okay. So that's what we have. We're going to explore the themes, the rituals, the frequency alignments, to help us get through this energy with some clarity and with resonance. And that is my intention for you. So I'm adding this back in. We're going back up. We are starting with Monday, December 1st. I still can't believe it. But yeah, we're starting with Monday, December 1st. Now, Monday's theme is focused fire. Okay. We've got the moon in Aries, hence the fire. Okay. And then we still have the sun in gate 9 and earth in gate 16. Again, I talked about it in depth back last week. Go find it. But for all intents and purposes, just know that this is a period of repetition, of devotion, and making sure that we are using our repetition to create mastery. Okay, so it's that idea of doing something over and over and over again so that you can become so good at it that it just becomes second nature. Okay, that's where we are. I did 2 sound baths today. Never done that before. Thought I was gonna, pass out because I'm always like, hey, I could take a nap after 1 sound bath. But then there I was today. I did 2 back to back, literally back to back, and I didn't pass out. I actually stayed awake all the way home, okay, like a big girl. And I think that that is a testament to doing something repetitively enough that now I'm able to now squeeze in additional ones, right? We grow. That's pretty much how anything grows, like muscles, and it's by redoing it, stressing it over and over again to the point where now you can do them without as much energy, and then you're able to use your energy for focusing on the new thing, and then you grow. Okay, so that's that sun in gate 9, earth in gate 16 energy. Okay, and Monday's focus for December 1st is creative drive. Okay, so it's this idea that fire is being put in, okay, but it's so focused. It's not blazing out into, where is everything torched earth, scorched earth, okay? It's very focused. Think magnifying glass on an ant, all right? You want to be able to focus what you are doing to the point where it becomes almost precision, almost laser like, right? If you find an Aries who has worked through their fire to the point where it is focused and not scorched earth, just, random stray fire everywhere, that is somebody that you want as a friend, a foe. I mean, not a foe, but definitely as a friend, a family member. You want to add that person to your gang, okay? And the the idea of having, intuition that is focused, that is, it can burn through, but it's a focused burn. You're cutting through to what it is that you're really trying to get to, let's say intuitively, let's say with whatever your craft is that you're working on, okay? Being able to focus that in, tune it in, and then be able to just like get in, like you're there. You take that deep breath and you're in. That's goals, right? So Monday is a good day to focus on and try that. And the ritual for Monday, I have dancing and movement, because that Aries energy, that fire is going to keep going, right? So we got that dancing and movement so that we can, bring that fire into just like one clear channel, one clear intention, what we're focusing on, get out all the, I have a dog that has to basically run like 5 miles or something, okay? And once she's done that running, she's not a bad dog. She's actually pretty cool. Then she can focus. Then she's like, okay, I'm here. She walks in a straight line. She's got it down, okay? This is that. This is that kind of energy. We getting out all of the wiggles, and then we can focus, okay? Um, Drumming is another way to focus in, okay? Drumming, as I've mentioned before, brings our brain into alignment and into sync, focus wise, with a steady, strong beat. I've done some videos on drumming and how you can use the drum in order to create that focused moment, in order to be able to set intentions, in order to be able to do your manifestations, right? So drumming works. The 256 hertz tuning fork. I have one around here somewhere. I've got 80 million tuning forks sitting here on my desk right now. You would think I had some sort of a problem. Here you go. There you are. Is that the one? Yeah. So there you go. There's the 256 hertz tuning fork. I don't even know if I can play this for you because I don't know if the sound is going to come up. But there it is. If the sound comes up, you know what? Let me go ahead and, because it's quiet. Maybe since it's quiet, I can go ahead and I don't know. This is what happens. I start messing with stuff. Should I be? Probably not. Probably not. Let me see. Is this the one? It removes. Okay, I don't want to put on the noise suppression, so it's not on. So hopefully you were able to hear that. We're going to try it one more time. I don't know. If you hear it, let me know. If you're watching this back in the replay, let me know if you heard it. I don't know. But it's a very deep, C. It's the low C, all right? It's good for focusing, good for grounding, okay? And then also binaural beats. Now, if you go on YouTube or wherever and you do a search for binaural beats for focus, you're going to find 80 million different binaural beats, okay? Find one that jives for you, okay? Throw it on, get your focus on, okay? Let's see. Then really the goal is just to, focus and ground in on like all of these fiery impulses, okay? Sometimes, sometimes Aries energy can be a little fiery, a little bit much. And when we're talking intuition wise, sometimes we can be all over the place, shiny object syndrome, right? Where we're just like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I want to do this. We don't have our focus on what we're supposed to be working on, okay? We got to get it together. We're going to lock in. December 2nd. Oh, hold on. I didn't finish out the prompts. So the prompt for December 1st, my bad. Prompt for, you know what I need? Focus. I told y'all last week, I don't have focus. I tried. This is a do as I say, not as I do moment, okay? But anyway, December 2nd. No, December 1st prompt. Where can I direct my fire into disciplined focus? Okay? Guys, I mentioned that it is way past my bedtime, okay? So just Be patient with me. I'm getting through it. All right. Okay. December 2nd, Tuesday. We have that moon moving into Taurus. We have Sun in gate 9, Earth in gate 16 still. This is that Venus sextile Pluto that I was telling you about. That's when it starts up, Um, and then we have it's a the empathic channels, whatever you're using, as far as what feels, whatever your clair is, let's say, okay, if it's vision, hearing, smell, whatever, feeling, okay, um it opens up, right? Venus and Pluto, come together in this dance of being able to help with our intuition, all of these feminine um, sensing type of energies. Okay, Pluto kind of gives us this. I want to say it's like an alignment with whatever, like it's pulling it out of us, almost like a you didn't know it existed, but then there it is, kind of a feeling. Pluto has that way of doing that. It's like, oh, I didn't know you were there. Oh, but I've been here the whole time, baby. Okay. And that's Pluto energy. All right. So we're opening these empathic channels, heart centered healing work. If you are a healer, okay, if you work in the healing arts, all right, focusing in on that heart, that Venus, that feminine, darker, energy, to be able to transcend out in your healing, it's there. Hey, Shay. All right. So for the theme for Tuesday, it's deepening devotion. Okay. So whatever this devotion that you're working through, we talked about ritual, we've talked about devotion. Okay. These are just, specific acts that we do in our connection with, our higher selves, whatever you're calling it. That's theme for Tuesday is deepening it, okay? Because why? We're focusing, okay? But now we're in Taurus, and it's a very stubborn. We mentioned that before, okay? I've mentioned that before. How you doing, Shay? Oop, no, we didn't do that. But it's a very stubborn type of, energy, okay? Um, Grounded. Let's go with grounded. I like grounded better. Okay. So, of course, for Tuesday, I thought it'd be an awesome idea to create a mindful meal. Why? Because it's Taurus energy. I mean, what else do you want? I'm doing good. I'm here. I'm up above, way past my bedtime. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, what else? What is the Taurus going to do? But they're going to eat. And they're going to eat well, okay? Get yourself a Taurus. If you want to eat well, find one. Ask me how I know. But yeah, so preparing a slow, mindful meal, blessing each ingredient with as nourishment for our body and soul. Like, when was the last time you've done that? Like, seriously, like sometimes we just scarf our food down. We don't even acknowledge, I've seen, sat in front of a television, just like ate a hard-boiled egg and then didn't even realize that I had a whole hard-boiled egg. Like, I just ate it. Like, where did I don't know, did I chew it? Who knows? It's that kind of a feeling, right? We're always go 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 go. What I love about that Taurus energy is it's very, let me feel into what feels good, what looks good, what tastes good. And that's why Tauruses are really big on the food, okay? But if it tastes good, you want to know, or you want to feel into it. So take some time, prepare that mindful meal, get into vibe with your meal, Feel good while you're making your meal, okay? And then bless your meal. I was at Spirit Fest, and oh, who was it? Oh, I cannot remember his name. Um, I know his last name is Chris Thames. He mentioned in his speaking about the hand up and the hand down, and I loved it. Like the idea of, coming together and some people, just say grace, right? And, you say a prayer, but what are you really doing? Are you just kind of going through the God is good, God is great, or are you actually taking time to add a focused intent to your food so that when you all are partaking of the food, you're feeding back in that good energy back from, the food to yourself. I've heard somebody once say that you can bless a candy corn and it'll make your body feel better if you do it right. I mean, I say try it, right? At any rate, so that's the ritual for Tuesday. Okay. Also have 432 hertz. That's the A note. Okay. If you're doing crystal bowl, I it just depends on which set of bowls you have. But 432, all of course, I'm still big on Project 432. So I'm gonna keep going with it. But Tuesday is a great day for working with 432 hertz. Um, Barefoot walking on the earth, feeling in that harmony with nature, being able to like feel and taste and touch. It's a very touch, feel, tactile, sensual. Taurus is a very sensual energy. Okay, they're gonna touch and feel good. Okay. And so if you're working with it intuitively we want to do a lot of that touching and feeling. Okay, now you got 2 days to work through this. All right. And like I mentioned before, if you don't like something on a Tuesday, but Taurus moon comes up on the Wednesday, go for it for switch the days out. Make the rituals yours. Do what you want with them. Okay, I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm just telling you guys, hey, this is things I thought of. Go forth and try them. Sometimes I come up with an idea and then you're like, I didn't like that. But I did add this and now it was fire. And I'll be like, well, cool. I'm glad that we were able to collaborate together. That's teamwork, and teamwork makes the dream work. Okay. So we are on the prompt for Tuesday. How can patience deepen my creative mastery? Right? Because again, we're working through that sun gate 9, earth gate 16, right? Still about patience, still about focus, still about repetition, still about trying over and over again. Okay, but how can we use patience to deepen our creative mastery? All right, we're rolling on Thursday, December 3rd. Moon is still in Taurus, so like I mentioned, you got a couple of days with that energy, okay, to be able to work through it. Okay. um and this energy, it stays the same. Sun in gate 9, earth in gate 16, Venus is still sextile Pluto. This is when it's actually like exact at that sextile, from what I understand. Okay, so we mentioned this before. Energy moves up and down in waves, right? So when you have something coming into the frame, okay, the energy while it's growing is also growing, and then as it's waning, it's also waning. If that makes any sense. Hello, Missy Badass Mama. Hope your night is going well. Also, feel free to ask me a question. If you have a question about any of this, I probably should have told you. You can get a free human design chart online by going even to free human design chart. Okay. And get your human design chart, because as I go through the week and when it's coming up actually, for the next day here, okay, and I'm going to tell you about the next set of transits that are in human design. All right. Now, if you have these gates or the channel or whatever it is, or it creates a gate, it creates a channel for you, this is what helps you to be able to use the energy as we're working through the energy for that week. Okay, so go find your chart while I'm rambling on here even. Okay, but if you come back for the replay, there should be chapters, okay, on YouTube at Asia Stormboard. There shall be chapters. I will get the chapters in there. All right. And then you will be able to just go to the day, go to the day, go to the day, go to the day. Even better, you can get it all in your inbox if you subscribe to the Soulful Creatrix on Substack, okay? Because it'll come in your inbox and then you'll have them right there just for you, okay? And you'll be able to, come back and replay this as often as you want, okay? We go through the cycle every year, okay? That's just what happens. All right. So we're working through, like I mentioned, December 3rd, okay? December 3rd's theme is refinement through love. All right? And the ritual is to repeat a mantra and infuse it with love and devotion. Like I mentioned, we've already talked about this Taurus stuff, okay? Venus frequency forks. I mentioned that one before also. The 221.23. I don't know if it'll come up. I don't know if I pop filter. So that's the 221.23. Don't know if it comes up, but that's the frequency of Venus, okay? And it's good to work with Venus while, Taurus is being, shined upon, with the moon, okay? And, being able to, have peace and balance as our intention. Okay, the prompt for December 3rd is, what practice deserves my devotion to mastery? I believe I said that twice. Did I say that twice? No. It's, how can patience deepen my creative mastery? And then, what practice deserves my devotion to mastery? I said what I said, all right? It's basically, we go through our day and we learn something and then maybe we leave it, all right? Or we start doing something and then maybe we stop. I started on green smoothies and then I stopped. But guess what? We pick it back up again. Maybe there was a reason why we should have had it, going in the first place, and then we left it alone. And now it's time to pick it back up again. Okay? It's time to focus back on that because it was making us better. So what practice deserves my devotion to mastery? Okay? December 4th, we have some changes. Changes come around. Changes abound, okay? And for December 4th, we have our gates moving. The sun and the earth move gates. I'm going to bring up, ooh, oh, that's bright. Ooh, Lordy, you are bright. You are sure a bright one. Hold on, yeah, that was quite like, ooh, okay. Let me find this one for you so I can share with you as we are moving into a new, really. All right, here you are. So there we are. Here is our big human design wheel. We've been working through this like crazy, okay? So we've basically been over here. We're right here in Sag area. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to make my little thing. There we go. There it is, right? So we're right here in Sag area in the 9, right? So now we're moving from 9 in the sun into 5, gate 9 into gate 5. As I mentioned this before, it goes in a counterclockwise motion, all right? And then each gate corresponds to a place in the I Ching and a spot astrologically, all right? So we're moving from gate 9. If I can make it happen again. For gate 9, I can never do it. There we go. There we are. From gate 9 to gate 5. Gate 9 to gate 5, okay? And then down here, we are moving from gate 16 in the earth. There it is, 16 to gate 35. If I can ever make you happen. You know what? You get the drift. Okay. So we're moving into gate 35 in earth, and we're moving into gate 9 in gate 5 in the sun. All right. The sun shines down, gives the energy that we're looking for. the energy that we're working with, the energy that we're working with, and the earth is that the how can we do our do that energy in a more productive, in a more grounded, in a more balanced way. Okay, the sun is here doing its action stuff. The earth is our, we're balancing it out, we're embodying it, we're working through that energy. Okay, so that's how that works. Now also, I've mentioned this before, I don't have a lot of gates in my personal human design chart. Okay, so now I'm about to let me close that one out. So now I'm about to share with you my chart here. Do not judge. I have 0 gates. Oh, I have some gates. I don't have a lot of gates. Okay, and so since I don't have a lot of gates, half the time what ends up happening is the gate that I want to talk about, I don't have. But lo and behold, this time I have one of these gates. Okay, I do have gate 9. No, I have gate 5. Like that was last time. I do have gate 5. There it is. Okay, there it is. It's on the screen. I don't know if I can make it. I tried. There you go. Okay. Gate 5 is a sacral gate. We're down here in the sacral area. All right. And gate 5 is this one right here. Okay. If you notice, mine is black. I have gate 5. You'll find out if you know me, you'll be like, oh, yeah, she does have gate 5. Okay. Gate 35 is up here in the throat. All right. It's a throat center. It's right here. If you notice, I don't have gate 35. I don't have gate 36. I don't have anything. Okay. I was happy that I had gate 5 so that I can at least share with you that I do have gate 5. Okay. That was the best that I had for you. All right. So now to get on to what the gates are for us. Okay. So now gate 5. You know what? I think I did that wrong. Gate 5. The sun is in gate 5. Okay. So gate 5 is called the gate of fixed rhythms, and it's a sacral gate. All right, I'm going to bring this up for you again so that we are all on one accord. Okay, and then you can see it. All right, so that I mentioned it's that sacral center, down in the belly. All right, it's our feeling, life force, consistency. It's a constant chug 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 chug. Okay, the theme for gate 5 is rhythms, timing, and natural cycles. Okay, and the gift of gate 5 is patience, mastery of healthy habits, and the ability to create rituals that bring stability and flow. Okay, so now, ironically, here I am creating rituals, trying to help with habits, trying to bring stability and flow to your life as you're watching this. And one would say this would be gate 5 energy that I would be using because, alas, I have it. Okay, so there you are. The shadow for gate 5 is going to be rigidity. It's going to be that resistance to change, becoming trapped. Okay, finding like rut, being in a rut. That's definite, gate 5 shadow energy. Okay, and we don't want any of that. All right, so if you notice yourself like stuck in a rut, or you notice yourself resisting change, and change is constant, babes. Change is gonna happen. Change is a part of life. Some would say, Octavia E. Butler said, God is change, right? So it's just a part of who we are. That was Parable of the Sower, by the way. Um, anyway, so that's it's going to be a consistent, okay, and fighting against it uses so much energy, right? Sometimes it's cool to just go with it. Like I mentioned in the beginning of today's stream, I flow with the rhythms. Be water. Okay. So anyway, um, that was, I digressed, okay, because again, no focus, but definitely structure and change, okay. um the frequencies for this gate are going to be anything that deals with steady grounding frequency, like I've mentioned, the 432, as far as just being like an open heart, steady, harmony type of a resonance, but also the ohm, the 136.10, which I do find interesting, is also, oh, which one was that one? I had that one sitting here. And then I'm going to go through and try and find it real quick for you. You're like, how many freaking heart? Okay. So the ohm, that 136.10, is also um the Earth's frequency, okay? But in um the chakra tuning fork set, it's heart. Okay? And I can give it to you, but again, I don't know if you're going to hear it, okay? But that's, the 136.10. It's a low, okay? If I had to it for you, okay, that's what it sounded like. That's exactly it, all right? So working with, that, universal rhythm um, for, in the tuning forks, um, or bowl if you have one. Um, all of these frequencies are going to support patience, natural timing, and staying embodied for the natural timing. Okay, the gate 5 is really about working through natural rhythms, knowing that if something is crap right now, it's going to change. It's going to, it's just a part of the cycle. Okay, if there's snow on the ground, eventually there's not going to be snow on the ground. If the moon is full, then one day it's not. It happens on a cycle. Knowing that cycles are just a part of life: birth, life, death, birth, life, death. Okay, it creates like that stability for you. It kind of creates, grounding for you. And um being able to embody and know that that natural timing, that natural rhythm, it's just a part of life. It's just what we go through. It's a part of our human experience, as we decided to, jump into these bodies, these bodies of water, these bags of water, and slop our bodies around. It was to have experiences and to get through these experiences and to learn from these experiences. Okay? So, um, which we get into with gate 35. Okay. So for tarot, I did not pick this. Okay. I was going to go elsewhere with the tarot correspondence for this week, but my good buddy Rose, who is a tarot reader extraordinaire, as we met her, okay, she brought forth the emperor. And after we had the conversation about it, I could not resist but say, hello, Vita. I could not resist but say, you know what? You are damn right. Damn right. The emperor. I liked it because the emperor is like, hey, this is what we're going to do at this time. We're going to set the rhythms. We're going to set the pace. We're going to go through these orders. We're going to have order. Order is important, right? So the emperor, gate 5 energy, felt very emperor after having that conversation with her, and I thank her for her insights. I love being able to have people who have these insights so that I don't have to do all that extra work thinking about it, but I do like having the conversation with her because then it also helps me learn. Okay, so gate 5 is about aligning with life's patterns and trusting the flow of time. All right. Teaches patience and trust in life's unfolding. All right. We're just going to trust that what we're going through, what we're seeing, what is happening is a part of the divine timing of everything. Okay. If it hasn't happened for you yet, babes, that just means that it's going to be another day. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. Okay. If it's not happening, that may mean it's not supposed to happen. And voila, then you go on to the next thing. Okay, that's just kind of how it works. It makes it easier in life. I can definitely see, like I said, I mentioned before, I have gate 5, um, and I can definitely see how it would make sense, that people would say, "Oh yeah, you have gate 5." That's just how I flow. Okay, gate 35 is the gate of change and progress. Okay, it's a throat center. I mentioned this before. All right, throat is expressing, speaking, manifesting. We talk about the throat often. Things don't happen without that throat. Okay, uh, work to the throat. Okay. So the theme for Gate 35 is change, progress, new experiences, and like a hunger for these new experiences. All right. Gate 35 is about seeking adventure so that you can take that adventure, learn from it, process it, and then find a new adventure. Okay. It's like, let me go and find something else new. Let me figure out the next thing. I've done this. Awesome. Going on. Next lesson. Let's go. Collecting lessons, kind of like that checkbox, right? Like, remember, okay, I don't know if you did this, okay, but when I did college, undergrad, okay, so when I did undergrad, right, they gave us a like a curriculum. So we would go to the guidance counselor and then we get like a curriculum, what we need in order to graduate, right? And a lot of us were just like, okay, let me check this box, let me check this box, let me check this box, so that I can get the experience, so I can get on to the next thing. Right? Do you like the class? No, I'm just taking the class so I can get on to the next thing. Okay, I'm gonna do it, experience it, got it. All right, cool, whatever. On to the next thing. That's that gate 35, type of energy. Okay, that was my most basic example of what that's like. Get the checkbox, get the checkbox. Take, learn from it, go. Okay, but it's the learn from it that is the most important part of Gate 35's energy. Gate 35 energy is the ability to process the new experience into what you gained over time. Okay. So you gain this new experience, you gain this lesson, and now you're able to just say, okay, I got the lesson. Let me move on to the next thing. All right. There's an adventure in getting all of these diverse lessons. Let me get them. Let me get them. Let me get them. All right. I don't have this gate. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you saw it. You saw it. It was there. Okay. I don't have this game. Um, do I enjoy excitement? Yeah. Do I enjoy learning new things? For the most part. Um, do I find it fun to get new experiences just so that I can get to the next experience? No. I will sit in an experience. I will revel in the experience. I will eat it up. Okay. I'm going to deep dive. All right. I may be there for months. I may be there for a year. I may be there, whatever it takes for me to get the deep dive in. Okay. So I'm not like, let me get it. I did it. All right. Let me move on. I'm deep diving type of a chick. Okay. So that's, I guess, the difference there. Um, Frequency alignment, we are talking expansive, adventurous type stuff. All right, 528, again, love my bowls. 528, gonna be my go to girly. All right, 741. I have the 741. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it though. But if you all remember, this baby girl is still up for sale. I still have her. All right, beautiful. Let me go ahead and real quick and picture. Beautiful um flower of life, orange, hand painted. Okay, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. That's at 741. It's great for clarity, great for decluttering. Okay, mental clutter. It kind of just like it feel you feel it in your head. I don't know. You tell me where you felt it if you were able to hear it. Okay, tell me where you felt it, where it sounds for you. All right. Um, so doing that clearing of the mind helps you with the curiosity that we're going to embody for emotional exploration, for intuitive exploration. Okay? So, the shadow of this gate 35 energy is going to be restlessness, insatiability, chasing experiences without integrating them. Just kind of like, was it hungry heart, hungry hippo, just go in, gobble it up, do whatever. Why? We're just doing it just to do it. Okay? We don't, that when you're getting to the point where you're just doing shit just to do it, that's, why are you doing it, babe? Don't do it. Okay? Um and then the gifts are adventure, emotional wisdom, and embracing change. Like I mentioned before, change is God, right? Being able to embrace change, embody change while we're working through, like I mentioned, that gate 5 energy is, we're gonna be in patience and not impatience. We're gonna be in patience, in rhythm, knowing that change is a part of the process. Okay. Gate 35 is that change is a part of the process. Okay. And that's how they both work together. So for the tarot, I picked the Knight of Wands. Okay. It's that go forward, get it, let me see. I want to, but also I want to integrate it. All right. And I picked the Fool. All right. Because the Fool is also kind of on that journey. Let me learn it. Um, Rose did mention, the goal of the Fool is to become the magician. The magician, we talked about last week, is that ability to take something and learn it and then show off your skills, right? The magician comes out and says, this is how I do this. And then plot out, there it is, right? The Fool starts off not knowing how to do it. Okay. So you're there, you don't know how to do it. So now you're grabbing and, being able to incorporate this and this and this, kind of going on your journey, learning all of these new experiences to integrate them so that you can have these skills and have mastery by, repeating them through life. So that's that. Knight of Wands is that restless, and then the being able to find it restlessly and going at it and saying, okay, I'm here, let me find the adventure. And then the Fool for that transformational, let's use it and become a new and embodied newness person. Okay. All right. So that being said, we are now on December 4th. All right. And December 4th, we have the full moon in Gemini. All right. Gemini energy, we talked about is that mental clutter. We're clearing it out. Full moon's great for clearing shit out. All right. We got to the full part of it. Time to clear it out so that, we can have some creative breakthroughs. Gemini, creative as fuck. All right. That Gemini energy, you want that. If you're creative, if you're you're an intuitive, you're an empath, you're going to want this creative energy. So we're clearing out. Okay. Clear it out. All right. The theme for December 4th is rhythms of release. All right. The ritual, I write down any outdated thought patterns and burn them under a full moon fire. Have fun with it. Full moon fire, you guys. Come on, burn it. Anyway, just saying, you might as well. We got a Sagittarius stellium also. That's where the fire is coming from. Okay, you're like, why is she just bringing fire into an air type of a situation? And the answer is because there was the Sagittarius stellium that I forgot to mention that comes through also right now. Okay, so, we got Sun, Venus, and Mars in Sagittarius. All right, and these are very personal planets, so this is all like work that's close to us. Okay. Bring out the fire. Go for it. Burn that stuff, chant, drum, bring in some new rhythms. That 528, love it. Okay. For open hearts. All right. Bring in moon water. Okay. Full moon, don't forget. You can put water out. Charge your water in the full moon. Throw in carnelian if you need some fire, or throw in aventurine if you're looking for abundance, or throw in clear quartz if you're looking for being able to in tune, on a higher frequency. Okay. Moon water has to be there first. So put your water out there. The prompt: what cycles am I ready to break so I can embrace new experiences? Hello, cool waters. So I can embrace new experiences. All right. We're trying to break these cycles. We're going forward. Moon in Gemini on December 5th still, right? Because, we just finished out the full moon. Okay. Um, Gates are going to stay the same. Now we have this, moon is conjunct Jupiter. It's going to have this creativity, spiritual exploration. We've talked about Jupiter expanding whatever it's near. So the moon is in Gemini. All right. And if you look in the sky during this time, you'll be able to see the moon and Jupiter together, like in the same spot in the sky, just like there in the sky, kind of like right there next to each other. Okay. Meaning that Jupiter is going to be expanding this Gemini creative, spiritual, energy. Okay. That's just what that means. All right. So the theme is curiosity as expansion. Okay. The rituals is journaling. Find three things, three questions that you've been afraid to ask yourself. Journal about them. I don't know what the three questions will be. Okay. They're your three questions that you've been afraid to ask. All right. Just ask them. Write them down in a journal. You can't get them wrong. All right. Explore them with some compassion. Be open with yourself. Open heart includes self compassion. Okay. 741, talked about that. All right. For clearing mental clutter and opening intuition. Okay. The prompt: where can curiosity lead me into expansion today? Okay. I think you guys are getting the rhythm here. All right. There's a method to my madness. Okay. December 6th, we move that moon into Cancer. And everybody knows Cancer and moon, they go great together. It's a very harmonious, feeling. All right. It's emotional, rise and fall, but intuitively, Cancer and the moon, they just go great together. So it's a very peaceful type of a feeling. We still got the moon with Jupiter, so it's expanding on that energy of emotion. Okay. And then, so we have like spiritual expansion, we have empathic healing. The theme is going to be emotional integration. Okay. The ritual: I have a spiritual bath. Throw some rose quartz there, around it or in it, however you want to do it. Lavender and chamomile. Look, you have some really good dreams if you put lavender and chamomile in the bath and then drink the tea. Look, the dreams come, the answers in the dreams, right? You record what you dreamt. Okay. We, get rid of the emotional residue, all in the same. We got a moon fork. Do I have the 210.42 here? I feel like I do. I feel like if I find it, I'll be like, yeah, I do. I have a 210 point. There it is. 210.42 hertz. They call it the moon fork. I would like somebody to be able to tell me one day if they can hear any of the forks. I'm going to go back and listen. And if I listen and I don't hear it, then I'm going to know I'm never playing these forks on the thing again. Okay. But this was the 210.42. Hold on. I hit the pop filter. Okay. The moon's frequency of 210.42 relating to sacral energy is kind of cool. And I'm going to go through and just do a whole like TikTok on that. Okay. So don't even bug me about that. Okay. About soothing emotions. Okay. Anyway, the prompt is: how can I nurture myself while stepping into new territory? Cancer is very big on nurturing. People find it to just be emotional. Okay. But intuitively, there's like, that nurturance, coming in and, giving the hug when it's needed, saying the words that need to be said. That's Cancer energy. Okay. It's like that mothering, very, calming, type of a soothing, not calming, because, sometimes they're not very calming, but soothing energy. Okay. Um, Yo, seriously, have I been on? Oh wow. Okay, it's time to get off of here. Let me finish this up. All right. So, um December 7th, that's our Sunday. That's the end, okay? December 7th, we've got the moon in Cancer still. We've got sun in gate 5, earth in gate 35. We've still got the Venus and Pluto. We've got the moon conjunct Jupiter. It's like everything kind of comes together, okay, for this perfect storm of deep emotional healing, this empathic work, okay, anchoring out the week, okay, and like all of these things that we've learned and, learning, putting in the lessons, and what are we devoted to, and answering the questions that scared us, okay? It all comes together on Sunday, all right? Um, Maybe share a meal with some people and discuss, what are you learning about yourself? What are you learning about this process? As you're like feeling open and intuitive and empathic about the life about you. What is happening for you, okay? Share that meal, honor rhythms, honor community, okay? Be nurturing to someone, right? We have the ohm again. That's that 136. Is that this one? The 136.10 for self and collective resonance, the earth frequency, right? Bringing together the collective, the grounded, okay? The theme for that Sunday is sacred rhythm of belonging. Okay, this is the bringing everybody together, finding your tribe, enjoying your tribe, and may I mention, shameless plug, December 7th, we will be back for Sunday Sound Bath. Okay, so if you're in West Palm Beach and you're seeing this sometime during the week, because I probably sent it to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, and you got this far in it, okay? Let me know you got this far. Just, put like a cow in the chat. I don't even know. I don't know. People say that all the time. If you got this far, put a cow in the chat. I don't know. Is there a cow emoji? I don't know. But join us on December 7th. We're bringing back the Sunday Sound Bath at Herbs and Earth in Northwood, and I'm excited. And what better day than working through sacred rhythm of belonging, bringing the circle back, right? Sharing the meal, sharing the circle with our loved ones. I'm excited, okay? That rhythm of we had to leave and then we came back, the community leaves and then it comes back, okay? Anyway, that was my shameless plug, and that's what I'm doing on Sunday. And it lines up well, and I'm here for it, okay? So, the prompt for Sunday: what rhythms of connection sustain me in times of change? And baby, that's what I for you. That's it. Now, look, just know I have been working on these now for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, okay? You have to let me know if what I'm doing is helpful to you or not in any capacity, all right? This one might be longer because I spent 10 minutes trying to figure out if you could hear me, okay? I'll chop that part off. No worries. I'll re-upload it when it goes to the YouTube. Nobody will know about that, okay? Um, but the idea of bringing forth, using my one gate that I have, gate 5, right, to bring forth the rituals, the prompts, the information that I scoured from all over the place, into one space to maybe make it efficient for you in your creative or empathic or healing or spiritual journey. Let me know if it works for you. Let me know if something is just like total garbage. If it's like, look, Asia, that's bullshit. That doesn't even work. Okay. Let me know. Let me know how you're feeling about it. Okay. Because there's, something, there's a method to the whole madness of working through the energy, using the energy to work for you, versus letting the energy kind of steamroll all over you, which nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. But if you understand what's happening, if you are, here for the rhythm and you understand how the change works, then you're prepared for it. And then you're working through it. Are there emotional days? Yeah. Are there crappy days? Yeah. Are there just days you don't want to get out of bed? Of course. And then we work through them, babes. And that's what we do. All right. So this week is about directing fire, to focus. All right. We're devoting to mastery, okay? Having a devotion to mastery, understanding that there are things that we are good at, and if we keep doing them, we become masters, okay? We become a master at it to where it's just second nature, it just comes together for us, all right? And then releasing so that we have space to renew again. You have to let go of some shit so that you can renew, create, bring forth, expand, all right? So we're honoring the rhythms of our body, of our heart, of community this week. Okay, this is we're crossing into this threshold. We're completing the year on top. All right, this is our time. We're using what we have to get what we want. Okay, and that's all I've been saying. If you have any questions for me, you know how to find me. That's my is that I. It's one here down along the bottom here somewhere. There's the website. You can find when I'm going to be doing community sound baths. You can come and find me in person. You can find me on social media at Asia Stormborn everywhere. Okay, my email. You can also find me. Send me an email on the website. Well, I'm here holding space for you so that way we're all working through alignment. That rising tide is going to raise us all up, baby. Okay, so that's my goal. All right, my goal is for us to all walk together in alignment, especially if you've been through some crazy shit like we've all been through, right? Until next time, I am Asia, the Soulful Creatrix. I am wishing you nothing but love and peace and many continued blessings. Do this week with some purpose, okay?